I'm here.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. Hello. Welcome in. I
Welcome,
don't know if you
welcome.
noticed, Ma, but I had to jump up because one of your grandsons had my mouse and had clicked off.
Oh my goodness. Oh
So
my goodness.
yeah.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy
Yes,
Sunday.
happy Sunday, everybody.
Yeah, they like the computers. They
Oh
love the
yes.
computers. They are into the computers. Happy Sunday. Happy weekend.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Weekend comes and go fast now, right?
It does. It comes really fast. It
In
comes
case you
really
don't know,
fast.
we are on an episode of Mama Said It podcast. We're on Mama Said It podcast. For those of you who are tuning in from TikTok, you may be tuning in from my live page or my daughter's live page. Her name is Shakira Pittman. Our Mama Said It page on TikTok, we can't go live yet because we don't have enough followers. So if you can go to Mama Said It podcast on the TikTok and increase our numbers over there, and we'll be able to go live. Meanwhile, we're live on Facebook, Instagram, um, YouTube. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a lot to cover. We're going to be jumping right into our topics. We're going to be talking about Social Security and how there's going to be a garnishment that's going to be taking place on June the 1st, which is just a days away, a few weeks away, I'd say about 2 weeks away now. They're going to be garnishing people who are collecting Social Security, and we're going to talk about who's going to be affected. So if you know someone who is collecting Social Security, whether it's young or old, you might want to have them to tune in or share this information that we're going to share with you so that they can be informed. And we're also going to tell you the things that you can do to perhaps prevent this from happening or at least slow the process down, right? At least slow the process down. The other thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to talk about domestic violence because a lot of times with domestic violence,
DV.
excuse me.
I think you have to say DV. Don't you or
Oh,
no?
you do. Oh, so I can't say D. Oh, I have to say DV.
Yes.
Oh, different
Uh,
words you got. You can't use the. Okay, so I have to use DV. Okay. So for those of you who don't know what DV mean, domestic. It's okay. All right. So we're going to dive into some of our topics. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Please share. Sharing is Karen. Hello, Rita. Thank
yes.
you so much for joining us, Rita. Thank you so much for joining us, Linda.
Yes.
Sharon is Karen for our co-host. Thank y'all so much for being a part of our podcast. We're also going to be sharing some grants. Where can you get grants? Where can you go and get about $5,000 or $10,000? Where can you get a loan if you have a business? We're going to share a lot of information. We're going to be in front of you for about an hour, and that hour is going to go by pretty fast. Right now, we're talking about 52 minutes. So we're going to dive into one of our topics and some of the conversations that we're going to have. We're not going to say allegedly for some because some are factual, but for that are not factual, we will say allege, right? So we want to try to stick to as much of the truth as we possibly can. Now, the one thing I want to talk about, I don't know how many of you are getting ready to go on a cruise this year. If you're getting planned to go on a vacation soon, this is something to think about. There's dark waters, the hit and rise on crime on cruise ships. So if you're thinking about going on a cruise, stay tuned.
Mm-mm.
We're going to dive into some things that can protect you. If you're going with a friend or family or a spouse, please don't tell me you're going by yourself. But if you are going by yourself, we want to share some points that may help you while you're on the cruise. Thank y'all so much for joining. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, I do want to, Shakira, I know you're not going on a cruise anytime soon.
No,
No,
absolutely not. I don't. I'm not getting on nobody's plane, no cruise. I ain't getting on
no,
nothing. If I can't get there by my car, it
right.
ain't happening
It
because
ain't
it's too much.
happening.
This
Forget it.
stuff is falling out the sky. They going on a cruise ship. Everybody getting sick.
Yeah,
Mm-mm, no
a lot
thanks.
going on. Yeah, there'd definitely be a lot going on with the cruise ships, and with the crime now increasing. I want to share this tidbit with you. I want to share this tidbit with you, this screen, um, this video. Just stay tuned with me.
More and more people are expected to hop on a cruise ship this year, more than ever before, according to AAA. Passengers should also be aware of some new crime data that the U.S. Department of Transportation recently released. Fox 13's Ariel Placencia asks experts to weigh in on these new numbers.
Some of these ships are floating cities.
And just like regular cities on land, cruise ships at sea have security teams ready to keep people safe.
Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. But the safety of the passengers, the crew, the destinations they visit is paramount.
But serious crimes can and do happen on board, the FBI points out. Consider the first 3 months of this year. New numbers from the U.S. Department of Transportation show there were 48 incidents of alleged crimes on cruises reported to the FBI. That's about on par with where we were this time last year. But it's also the most we've seen during this same time period in at least 10 years, data shows. Those 48 reported incidents include sexual assaults and thefts greater than $10,000. Some cruise experts say these numbers will cause some passengers to avoid cruises. But other industry experts argue context is important.
In 2024, I mean, you had over 35 million people go on a cruise to put things in perspective.
The Cruise Lines International Association has been forecasting north of 30 million cruise passengers every year since 2023, a number that keeps on growing, even after the COVID pandemic caused a significant drop in travelers from 2020 to 2022.
Ships weren't full at that time. There were the COVID restrictions. 24 was the first full year in operation.
The industry has bounced back, but all these passengers will notice the same safety procedures.
I mean, you just didn't walk on a ship. You had to go through security issues. You had to have, passports. You had to go, present, various documentation to get on board the ship.
But just like anything, experts say you should always be aware of your surroundings.
Going on a cruise anywhere in the world, I mean, it's very important to not let your guard down.
In Tampa, Ariel.
There you have it. So going on a cruise I love going on cruises, to be honest with you. I think it's really fantastic, right? How many of our viewers, how many of our co-hosts actually go on cruises, are planning a cruise? Anyone planning a cruise anytime soon? Anyone planning a cruise anytime soon? Please share it in the chat. So I just want to share with you some of the things that you can do to keep yourself safe while going on a cruise. One, stay aware of your surroundings, right? Which is very, very extremely important. Knowing exactly your surroundings, where your cabin is, where you're located. Always being mindful of where you are, especially in the hallways, right? In hallways, stairways, or open decks at night. Trust your instincts and avoid isolated areas alone. The second thing you want to do is lock up your valuables. I know for me, when I travel on a cruise, I normally don't take valuables. Like, we may take a few things, but some people take their whole jewelry box, and I don't see no sense in that, right? But of course, if you choose to take your jewelry box, I say be very careful. Use the in-room safe for your passports, your jewelry, your cash, your electronics. Don't carry all of your valuables around on the ship. That's just my opinion. The third thing you want to do, limit your alcohol. Some people get on these cruise ships and get toe up to the flow up. They be so drunk, they don't even know where they are, okay? Cruise ships often encourage heavy drinking, but staying sober or have a moderate drinking. This will help you control or reduce the risk of becoming a victim. Now, the fourth thing you want to do, keep emergency contact numbers. Keep them handy. I know today things have changed where it's hard to remember people's numbers. I know back in the day I could remember numbers like the back of my hand. Now you ask somebody number, I'm always going to the phone, like depending on the phone for all my numbers. But know where your security is on the cruise ship, okay? And save emergency numbers in your phone, and share your itinerary with the trusted people back home. Like if you have a loved one, a daughter, a son, an aunt, or cousin, keep that information share it with your people back home. Now, the fifth thing is use a buddy system. Me, myself, I know if I go on a cruise again, I'm not going to go by myself. That's just out. So I encourage using a buddy system. Don't wander alone, especially at night on the cruise ships. I know you might feel comfortable or you know where you're going or people know you on the ship. Anything can happen at any given time. There's a lot of things happen on these cruise ships that become mystery, and your family don't know what happened. Now you got to hire a private investigator to try to figure out what happened. No, travel with a friend or a group whenever possible. There's safety in numbers. Safety in numbers. So is any of our co-hosts going on a cruise? Oh, thank you. Happy belated Mother's Day to you too, Rita.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
Huh? But Linda says, maybe your co-host can book and send the book. Maybe your co-host can book and send the book. I don't understand that one, Lynn. Maybe you can revise that question if that is a question. Hey, Rabina, thanks so much for joining, Rabina. Sis, thanks so much for joining, Dottie. We appreciate it. If you can just do one more thing for us, sharing is caring. If you can share our information, sharing is caring. So Shakira, I know you're not going on a cruise. I know Dottie wanted to go on a cruise. Dottie, are you scared to go on a cruise right now? Put it in the chat. Would you go on a cruise right now if you had the opportunity? Or is that something that's a no-go? It's my TikTok family. Are any of you planning a cruise anytime soon? Are you planning a cruise anytime soon?
Yeah, okay. No, I don't plan on getting on nobody's plane. I mean, train, ship, anywhere. I ain't getting on nothing. If I can't be in control of me driving, I don't want to get on nothing. I'll wait. I'll wait till things die down.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I do have somebody that said that they just went on one in April.
Oh, really? How was it?
You got to let us know how it was, Mahogany.
Yes. How was it? Now, Linda says something about Joe Biden recent prostate cancer diagnosis. He has prostate cancer.
I did get an alert for that on I think it was like on Newsbreak. I did get an alert for that.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't hear about that. Wow. I'm sorry to hear about this. One thing about prostate cancer now, they have so much information out there to prevent prostate cancer. So better than it was years and years ago, people can really recover from prostate cancer. So, but we're sorry to hear that. Thanks for letting us know that, Linda. Thanks for letting us know that for sure. Yes.
Yeah, and she said they were celebrating her mom's birthday. Huh? And she's the young lady that said that she went on a cruise in April. She said they were celebrating her mom's birthday, and Bridget also said she just got back from one as well.
Oh yeah, she sure did. Hey cousin, happy birthday, cuz. It's still Taurus season. I want to shout out to all my Taurus people. If you are celebrating a birthday, I'm saying happy birthday to you. This is Taurus season. We have a few more days. I think the 20th, and the 20th ends the Taurus season. Yes, Bridget just came from a cruise. I think she went to Cancun, right? She went on a cruise. Very nice, cuz. I'm happy for you. Yes, I'm happy for you. Dottie says questionable. Thank you for joining, Bridget. I had a nice time with you, Bridget. Love you, family.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Let's see, Linda. It spread to his bones? Oh, his cancer spread it to his bones. Oh my goodness. Wow. So it's aggressive.
Wow. That's sad. That's really sad.
Wow, he got aggressive cancer. I didn't know that. Wow. Sending out prayers to the Biden family for sure. Mm-hmm. Yes, the Biden family sending out prayers. My God. Oh, Jesus. Boy. Went to Bermuda. Oh, you went to Bermuda and got back on Mother's Day. 7-day cruise. Ooh. 7-day cruise. Now, listen, we do have some vouchers that's still available for anyone who wants to go on a cruise. You can hit me up in our inbox, and we will give you a voucher. You have to pay the taxes and the gratuity, but the cruise is free. If you want information, send us information in our inbox, and we'll send you the voucher. We'll send you the voucher for a cruise. You welcome, cuz. You welcome. Absolutely. You're so welcome. So now we're going to change the subject. I don't know whether you noticed, have you been shopping lately, but the egg prices went down. Did y'all notice? The egg prices is down. Is this an indication that the economy is getting better? What do you think?
I think it's a ploy. I think it's going down and then it's going to shoot right back up to it's going down for the rise. And it's going to be higher than what it was before. That's just my personal opinion.
Yes, the lowest that it's been in months.
Yeah, I just think that it's going to, and then this would be the time now. Before, my oldest son ain't like eggs. He ate in the beginning he loved eggs. Then he stopped eating them. Now he wants eggs again. So we always are looking at the prices of the eggs now.
Right. Now he likes eggs.
Yeah,
when
now
they
he
high.
likes eggs. Yeah, when they high. And he only eats the white. He does not eat the yolk. He wants boiled eggs, and he only eats the white part.
Oh my!
Yeah.
So that means half the egg is wasted.
Exactly.
Half the egg is wasted. Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, we're gonna jump into another subject that I know. I don't know whether y'all heard of it. I know TikTok probably is aware of this. Shakira, we talked about this week. Mm-hmm. There is a trend going on.
Oh Lord,
they're getting paid with paid pig TikTok.
Yes,
and I mean people are getting thousands of dollars.
People are racking up on this paid pig TikTok. It is insane.
It's insane.
It is insane, and I would never, because that sounds very dangerous for me. I
you
just
don't know what's behind it.
Yeah, because it's so. First of all, it's so easy to get your information anyway. Period.
Yeah.
So to be exposed like that in the way you're giving out your Cash App, typically your Cash App name might be close to your name, or it's just so easily to get hacked. And I ain't talking about the money part. I'm talking about the danger part.
Right.
You mess around with people, and of course they're saying that, it's no stranger text. They just want to support pregnant women or whatever you're going through.
Women and men, I think. Men
listen, everybody is on there. But
a lot of people on there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what is it that you have to do? Let's talk about it. It's called paid pig, PIG, TikTok.
Yes.
Right. And it's only on TikTok.
It's only on TikTok.
You have to go to TikTok.
Yeah.
And you have to post yourself, and then you have to hashtag paid pig.
Hashtag.
Hashtag. You have to hashtag paid pig.
Yeah. And people are on there talking about tuition. People are on there talking about I'm a single mom.
Absolutely.
And they're putting in their Cash App. Sure. And people are finding them, because all you have to do, I mean, it's easy to look up hashtags. What they're saying is that the person that's doing the paying, they're just going to TikTok and saying, putting in hashtag paid pig.
And then they'll find you.
And they'll find you.
Yeah.
And they're just
put it. That's interesting. But one guy in particular, and I think he's the one who supposedly created this trend. Mm-hmm. He's been flashing his money every day, and he's giving out thousands of dollars every day.
Wait, so the guy that started, is he the payer or the payee?
He's the payer. He pays out.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, he pays out. Yes, he pays out. So by him paying out, and he's paying one young lady, he paid $5,000. So his inbox is just flooded. Now, if y'all want to know who he is, I'll definitely share his information. For those of y'all, who is he? I want to know who is this guy. I need to know his information. I'll share his information if you want to know. Let me know if you want to know his information on his page, and I'll send that information to you so you can go to his page. And people have been coming back to his page saying, "Yeah, I got my money. I got my Cash App." so it's no joke. And I don't really think that he's looking for anything in return.
Yeah, that's what they've been like pushing, is that they don't want anything in return. A lot of these people are not even, because they're getting the Cash App amounts or getting the money, and they don't know who it's coming from.
Right.
Because the people are not even like DMing them and saying, hey, I just sent you anything. Like, they're just taking their Cash App, giving them money, and that's how that's going. So
right. Yes. Yep. And it's just happening. So that's a good way if you want to do a come up and need some money for the summer, need vacation, need a car payment, you're behind on your mortgage and rent, need some food. Paid pig. I'm not encouraging it. I'm not promoting it. I'm not encouraging. But listen, things is hard when you have people out here just giving away money, right?
Yeah.
Out here just giving away some dough. Okay, so we're going to shift topics, and I want to talk about this because this is going to hit home for a lot of people. Did you hear that Section 8 is being placed on hold in many states? Now, will Section 8 eventually end? Do you think Section 8 will eventually end?
That would be horrible for some people. Well, a lot of people.
Millions.
Yes.
Millions of people.
Yes, it would be horrible for. Yeah.
But Section 8 it's on hold in a lot of states, and it's really and these are for people who are on the waiting list. Let's be clear, right? But they're not clear whether or not when it's time for renewal, whether or not they're going to have an issue because of limited funds. So we don't really know how that's going to affect. But let's take a listen at this clip.
With more than a third of the year left to go, several agencies that hand out Section 8 housing vouchers here in Maine have stopped issuing new ones to people on waiting lists. Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Iacono.
And I'm Samantha York in for Amanda Hill. The reason for the freeze, those agencies have used up the federal funds allotted to them this year for the program.
Among them, Maine Housing, which administers about a third of Section 8 vouchers. Others pausing any new applications include Portland, Westbrook, and Brewer housing authorities. News Center Maine's Caroline LaCour in our studio tonight with what this means for those waiting to get approved. Hi, Caroline.
Brian, Samantha, we know this might be difficult news to hear as thousands are relying on these vouchers here in Maine to help ease the cost of rent. And while housing authority leaders reassure us that this kind of pause isn't uncommon, they know it's still going to cause a headache for some.
HUD gives an inflationary factor for our budgets, usually around 3 to 4%. Our inflationary factor for calendar year 24 was 0.
Director of Voucher Programs Clyde Barr says it's been a tight budget this year for the Portland Housing Authority's Section 8 program. For the city in 2024, that budget is set at $30 million.
We're working with HUD to figure out the best number to get to. Our projections will be on the line.
Every year, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, allots funding to local housing authorities. But with an increased demand for help, Barr says that funding tends to quickly run dry. This is one of those times.
After HUD informed us, we immediately started working to get our program in line with budget as soon as possible so we can start issuing again in the future.
And Portland isn't alone. As of May, housing authorities in Maine have already spent 105% of the 2024 budget, according to the HUD Housing Choice Voucher Data Dashboard.
The tools that HUD uses now to forecast are a lot more sophisticated than they were 15 and 20 years ago.
Dan Brennan is the director at Maine Housing, which offers vouchers for portions of the state that don't have a housing authority. He says there are currently 3,600 households relying on vouchers through the agency.
The work that we've been doing, landlords, has succeeded in getting us, unfortunately, to the point where we've maximized what we're able to offer out.
Both Brennan and Barr say it's hard to know when the program will unpause, but that it's heavily dependent on congressional spending. With 4 months left in the year, it could be 2025 before programs resume.
There's really no other program that provides this kind of assistance for those families.
Now, housing leaders I spoke with today explained that other housing assistance programs are not going to be affected by these budget constraints. And if you are already holding on to existing vouchers, you will still be able to use them. Brian, Samantha.
Caroline LaCour in our studio breaking down.
Thank you. Yeah, there you have it on Section 8. So, I mean, what does this really mean? The way things are going, they're freezing all these things, and they even talking about they freezing what is it? We SNAP.
Oh yeah, the SNAP program, SNAP benefits. Yep.
SNAP
For
benefits. I
food
mean,
stamps.
why are you messing with SNAP benefits? Really? I mean, does that really make sense? These are children. The majority of the people that's benefiting from the SNAP program are kids, are
Yeah.
minors.
And I think they're also trying to attack the like the program where the kids get the breakfast in the morning at school. They're trying to cut that too.
Yes. What sense does that make? I'm really trying to understand the logic in all of this. And from an accounting standpoint, I don't see it. It's not making sense. It's not making sense why all these programs are being cut. SNAP, really? SNAP been around since, I don't know how many years. And it's
long time.
A long time. So what's the logic behind getting rid of SNAP? I'm trying to make some sense of it. Hi, Pam. Thanks so much for joining us, Pam. Trying to make some sense of all of this. It's not making sense.
Yeah, so on TikTok, Erica said free lunches, etc. They trying to take away anything and everything to line their own pockets. That's my opinion.
And see, they're telling the Black African Americans to stay home, don't be in the streets, don't fight back. But after a while, it's going to get to a point. What are we going to do if they've taken all the programs and you have nothing? If they take away Section 8, if they take away a social services assistance, other people may call it welfare, right? They limit you to food stamps. They talk about even limiting to food stamps. If they take away all these programs, then it's going to be a bigger issue. It's going to be a bigger issue. Yeah, it's going to be a bigger issue. Hey, cuz. Hey, Mike. Thanks so much for joining us, dude. Thanks so much for joining us. I do want to change topics because I want to find out, what are you guys feeling about them kicking out transgenders? The military is kicking them out, the transgenders. Is this going to be an honorable discharge or a dishonorable discharge? They're kicking out transgenders out of the military.
I just think overall, it's just I'm trying to understand what is the reasoning for everything across the board.
Yeah.
I do understand the sports part. I'm so sorry. I do understand the sports part behind it, in a way, but the military part, they trained. There's a training. You don't just sign up and you get in. Like you train for it, you pass the test. So for me, I mean, it's just, I think they're just going after everything.
It seems like it's just they running rapid. It's rampant. It's just crazy how they're just attacking everything. Now, is it an honorable discharge? Anybody know whether it's an honorable discharge or dishonorable discharge? Me, I think it should be an honorable discharge. They didn't ask to be discharged. They didn't ask to be kicked out. Why would you give them a dishonorable discharge? And they matter, because a dishonorable discharge, the benefits,
of course. That's the biggest part.
Discharge for the time that they serve, especially if they've been in there for 10, 15 years. Person been in there 10 to 15 years and they're now out of the closet. Now, do they now get a dishonorable discharge? It's a lot to be said there. I know a lot of people's like, I don't know whether I want to touch that. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people are not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Really? Why?
Because some people, I feel like with certain topics, you don't want to seem disrespectful or offensive, in a lack of better words, offensive.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. I can see that. I do want to talk about something that's a little bit more on the cheery side. Did y'all hear about the 100 Black fathers who graduated Dad Grads Fathers Incorporated. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I seen it on the internet. I seen a picture of it.
You seen it on the internet?
Yeah, I wish it would have made the news, but definitely seen a picture of it.
Yeah, it didn't make the news, unfortunately, but perhaps us bringing it to the forefront for our viewers, allowing people to be aware that programs such as this do exist. So I'm going to share this with you. Stay tuned.
More than 100 men in caps and gowns, all gathered at Morehouse School of Medicine Saturday to celebrate a major accomplishment. This isn't just any graduation. It's one that aims to create stronger fathers through the Gentle Warriors Academy.
Fatherhood is the #1 on my list right now.
This, the largest class of dad grads for Fathers Incorporated.
Every one of our fathers have a different journey, but I think they all have a similar destination. And that destination is to be a great dad.
The organization takes men who might otherwise be considered absentee and transforms them into better dads.
Whenever they don't feel the best, or when they don't have the resources that they need, or they might be feeling down, they can tap into the brotherhood.
Through this 10-week course, the men learn parenting and life skills. Fathers Incorporated CEO Kenneth Braswell says this program gets to the core of issues that keep fathers away.
Helping them find housing, helping them find employment, connecting them to resources, being there when they need help with child support.
Things Jordan Harris learned well as the valedictorian.
This program has helped me see that, I have to be my best self.
There you have it. So dads are being honored, and I think it's really, really good. And Father's Day is next month, so
it is.
We'll be honoring the fathers and giving them their props for being great dads, because I think a lot of times fathers are not really giving them enough credit for what they do, and that to me is a disservice. It's a disservice.
Pam said it's really discrimination, but they have the support of the president. They should have an honorable discharge. And then cousin Terrence chimed in and said, "Hey fam, it's called a discharge under honorable conditions."
Oh, hey nephew, how are you? Also, they would get honorable discharge.
Yeah. It's a
discharge on honorable conditions. Okay. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's comforting.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because some of them, I heard stories, they've been in the military for 20 years and just felt comfortable enough to come out.
Yeah.
But they still served, did a great job, ranked up. Some of them ranked up for. I mean, and to be not knowing, but thank you, nephew, for clarifying that. They will be given an honorable discharge under an honorable condition. Great to hear. Great to hear. So I learned something new. It's always good to collaborate because we learn from each other. In these times, we have to lean on each other for knowledge and understanding. Yeah, congratulations to the dad. I say that too. Because they don't give you no book to how to be a good parent. You learn from your mother's mother, right?
Yeah.
You learn from our aunties and those who we are surrounded around. That's how we normally learn how to be parents.
Yeah.
And then we take things that we've learned and we make it our own. Some things you might want to do that's like your mom or dad, and other things you might not want to do that's like your mom or dad.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. One of the things I know with my mom when I was growing up, that's why I went and got myself a job real quick, because cooking in the family, whatever they cooked, that's what you ate. Wasn't no going out trying to get yourself something new, or they're going to change the menu because you didn't want to eat what was on the menu. Whatever was cooked, that's what you ate. So I went and got myself a job. Now I can buy whatever I want. So with you, when you came along, Plum, I didn't make you eat what you didn't want. So whatever you didn't want to eat, I didn't make you eat it. It was nothing forced.
Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't. Yeah, my dad wasn't the same way. No, I won't say he forced me. It was kind of just like, well, if you don't eat this, you won't get no dessert. And if I was gonna eat it, I don't care what the dessert was. Okay.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that was the only thing.
Right. Yeah, that's the only thing. Wow. Now, one of the things this has been talked about amongst my colleagues, and we're trying to figure out like what's really going on here. Now, Trump welcomes white South Africans while deportation rise at home. Is it a fair move, racism, or injustice, or neither? What are your thoughts?
But is he asking them to come back? They probably don't want to come back here with everything that's going on.
The people that they're deporting?
Oh, you said the deported. I thought it just said white South Africans while deportation is on the rise. I thought, so you're saying that white South Africans that was deported?
No, he's bringing in the white South Africans while here in the United States, he's deporting immigrants.
Oh, me. Okay. He asking them to come over here and we sending everybody back, quote unquote.
Correct.
Home. Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yes.
No, I think it's backwards. I don't think that makes any sense.
Yeah. So it's like,
meaning white, like Caucasian. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah. White.
Yes.
Caucasian,
so I don't understand that part.
Yeah. We don't understand it either, but it's happening. I think recently they sent over 59. And then from what I'm understanding, there's approximately about 70,000 who are inquiring about coming over.
Oh, wow.
70,000.
Wow.
So with 70,000, let's say if it's 70,000, the jobs, social services, food stamps, are we going to, I guess, housing? They're going to be supplied all these things. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. The reason being of him, quote unquote, doing the deportation, to save us money because all the immigrants are getting all this food stamps and all this other type of stuff, but you're doing the same thing, so that doesn't make any sense. You're bringing over people to like, what problem are you really solving? It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Right. Let me show you this clip. Just stay tuned.
Arriving as refugees at Dulles Airport outside Washington today on a plane chartered by the State Department, a process that usually takes years, greeted by a top-ranking U.S. diplomat.
Welcome to the United States of America.
And this from President Trump.
It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me.
The president signed an executive order in February calling them victims of unjust racial discrimination from the country's black majority, something the South African government vigorously denies. While today the administration also canceled temporary refugee status for as many as 14,000 Afghans already in the U.S., including many who served alongside the U.S. in the war. All face persecution from the Taliban if they are forced to go back. Veterans groups reacting.
How do American veterans of the war in Afghanistan feel about the way their Afghan interpreters and allies are being treated?
We're pissed off. This is absolutely insane that we would treat people this way.
The welcome for white South Africans also in sharp contrast to another executive order the president signed the day he took office, suspending new refugee admissions for everyone else, including black Sudanese escaping genocide and Latin Americans fleeing violent gangs.
Some tonight question whether Elon Musk played a role in winning refugee status for his fellow white South Africans, because he has repeatedly posted on his platform X about their plight. Lester.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app.
Thanks, NBC. Now make that make sense.
At first, you know how it's like they say Trump said XYZ, but that came out his mouth, and he said, and they happen to be what?
Black.
What difference does it?
And they happen to be white.
I really can't. But nothing surprises me anymore with anything that goes on.
Do you think this is because, is this the morale of American people? Do you think the morale of American people is down?
Meaning,
you see? Like
meaning they agree with him?
The energy of people that you come across with the immigrations and the ICE and arrests, and some of them arresting Americans. Do you think that a lot of this is causing depression and so much?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely taking a toll on people, because it may not affect you directly, meaning you are not getting sent back, quote unquote, home, as they put it. But someone, a coworker, a loved one, like, and even like with the farm, I know the farmers was talking about that their workers, they're gonna have to, they had the farm for 20-30 years. They're gonna have to close up shop.
Yeah,
because they don't have no workers anymore. So,
and that's here in America, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's here in America. What about the farmers that are here in America?
That's what I'm talking about. That's
what I'm saying. But
yeah,
we're reaching out to other countries, and I understand that. But what about those that are really suffering here in the United States?
Yeah,
that's the problem. That's the problem.
Pam said, I think it's racism and injustice for deporting them. He stands for white and the rich.
I think that the way they went about doing it, it could have been a better way.
Yeah.
It could have been a better way to do it. And it didn't surprise any of us, because he said what he said and he meant what he said, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But for those who voted for him, they were shocked.
Yeah.
That
because they're getting arrested with the Make America Great Again hat on.
Yeah. Yes, so I see that.
I know they're very highly upset.
Pissed off is more like it.
Yeah. It's
and I would be too.
Huh?
I would be too.
Yeah.
I would be
and I think on both sides, whether you voted for him, if you didn't vote for him, everybody's losing across the board.
Yeah.
So yeah,
sad.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be.
No.
It shouldn't be. One of the things I wanted to touch base on, we're going to change the subject real quick. I wanted to talk about this. This is for learning experience. We're not talking and pointing fingers or anything like that. But through no fault of theirs, when kids get caught in grown-up battles, I know you heard about DDG and Holly Berry. What can we learn from their story? She asked for a restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge granted her a restraining order, which I definitely understand that. And for me, being a person who went through domestic violence, I do understand. But I know when you have children involved, it's so sensitive. It's so sensitive. Because you have the restraining order is against the adult, but the parent may not have done anything to the children. So it makes it a little bit of a sticky situation. But let me just play this clip real quick. Stay tuned.
Legal action against her ex, DDG. The Little Mermaid star, who shares 17-month-old son Halo with the rapper, was granted a temporary domestic violence restraining order on May 13th against the musician, according to legal documents obtained by E! News. In the request filed in Los Angeles, Hallie says the pair had a fight back in January, during which DDG slammed her face against the steering wheel of a car, leaving her with bruises on her arm and a chipped tooth, according to the docs, which include photos of the injuries. She writes in the order, "I then stopped fighting back as I was in a lot of pain," before adding elsewhere, "Daryl lacks an understanding of how his actions impact Halo. He is often verbally abusive towards me in front of Halo. Hallie also describes multiple other alleged altercations between the pair, including receiving a threatening text from DDG in March after he allegedly entered her home while she wasn't there. According to the docs, days later, the musician allegedly locked Hallie out of her house and stole her phone before driving away and throwing it out of his car window. In addition to these interactions, Hallie says DDG often engages in bad-mouthing me to his several millions of fans across YouTube and Twitch, which she says results in her receiving threats and hate on social media. She adds, "I have done everything possible to avoid going to court," before concluding with, "I cannot allow this abuse any longer. I cannot keep living like this." E! News has reached out to reps for Hallie and DDG and has not yet heard back.
That's a sticky situation.
Mm-hmm.
Real sticky situation, especially when you have kids that are involved. And it's like, okay, now you have a situation where a father can't see his son. They may have had, obviously, a disagreement, argument, domestic violence involved, but now he's not able to see his son. And I believe she's now filming in another country, I believe Italy, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So now that may be 2 or 3 months without him seeing his child. So what could we learn from their experience? Because we see this happen quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We see this happening quite a bit where the child is caught up. And of course, whoever the custodian parent is, whether it's the mother or the father, wherever that parent goes, the child goes with that parent.
Yeah.
So it's like, do he sign documents, try to hire an attorney to try to get some sort of visitation rights, fight for his parental rights? Because kids these days now, because everything is so publicized and is on social media, and we know that videos can last forever. So when this child gets older, I know one of the things I seen a comment was being made where a young lady was talking about her experience, and the one thing she was hurt about, she was hurt because her parent, one of the parents, did not try to fight for her. Didn't try to fight. So it's like when you have a parent on the opposite side, of course, the attorneys cost money.
Mm-hmm.
Attorneys cost money. It costs money to hire an attorney and to fight these types of battles. So if a parent don't have the money to be able to fight the battle, then that means one of the parents wins. But really, it's not a win-win situation when you have kids involved. Sad.
Mm-hmm.
Sad but true. Sad but true. Any remarks from you, Shakira, with your sleepy self?
No, just I was trying to see if anybody had any comment. No. Mm-mm.
Okay. I thought that was really something to learn from, I guess, from my perspective. Because we're seeing it more and more and more. It doesn't seem like domestic DV, does it seem like it's up? Does it seem like it's more and more about it?
It's not up. It's just people can record. People are on the internet talking about it. I don't think the numbers are any bigger than what they were.
Oh, so you don't think there's more violence when it comes down to DV?
No, I don't think it's more violence. No.
I think the opposite.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the opposite. I really do. I think the numbers are up. Maybe it's because the tension of the country, what the country is under. It just seemed like you're just hearing about it more and more and more. One of the things I wanted to change the subject, and I wanted to share this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course, the DV was definitely not your dad. It was not your dad. It was actually before I even met your father.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. But any type of relationship, you will have arguments and disagreements and et cetera, et cetera. One of the things I wanted to change the subject about is this young lady who is out of Africa who invented a bra that will detect early breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
That will detect early breast cancer. I thought this was pretty nice. So stay tuned for this.
Next on our lineup is another story of hope. Breast cancer is the most common invasive cancer and leading cause of deaths in women globally. A young Nigerian robotics and embedded systems engineer, Kemisola Bolariwa, is helping women know their status by creating a smart bra to detect early stages of the disease.
Statistics from the World Health Organization states that in 2020, there were 2.3 million women diagnosed with breast cancer and 685,000 deaths globally. This is a concerning issue for robotics and embedded systems engineer Kemisola Bolariwa, who after losing a loved one to the disease, decided to embark on a journey to help other women increase their chances of survival. And after that emotional experience in 2017, she did some research and realized that early detection is key to treating breast cancer. And so together with her team, they come up with a wearable solution.
We came up with a smart bra device that helps women to detect the earliest stage of breast cancer. Aside detecting that, it will also check for the abnormality in the breast. It will monitor daily condition of a patient that have been already diagnosed of breast cancer, maybe someone that has been treated of breast cancer. This bra will help to monitor such patients.
The journey actually started in 2019, and after almost 2 years of research and development, Kemisola launches the first prototype. In February 2022, the smart bra was born using ultrasound technology.
We are working towards accuracy because we want to increase the penetration. For when we first launched it this year, we received so many responses from all over the world, which really helps us with the development, like where we are right now, from no responses guide from radiologists, from oncologists, sonographers, and so on. And it's really helping us to upgrade what we have on ground, and that is what we are doing right now. Coming to the sensor that we use for this, we are upgrading the sensor. Instead of using the lower frequency, now we have a higher frequency, which we are currently working on. You can see we are working on the boards here. We have so many boards that we'll be using for the new developments now that will help with the efficiency of the device.
Kemisola says the smart bra needs to be worn for at least 30 minutes for examination and diagnosis, after which it sends the results to the wearer via a mobile app.
Yeah, that's really... Hello? Hold up, y'all. I think my mom dropped off real quick. I think that's really cool, though, you guys, because at first I was like, wait, are you supposed to wear this bra all day? What if you start sweating? But I do like the fact you wear, like I said, you wear it for 30 minutes, and then it'll send your results to your phone. It looks like it's like an app or something like that, which is really, really cool. It's really, really cool. Let me see. Hold on. I don't know, because I don't see her yet. Pop back up. But yeah, early detection is key. Getting your checkups. I know a lot of people, they may say, well, I do my own checkup, which is nice. I want you to continue to check. But making sure that when you get that certain age, that you're making sure that you are constantly getting checked on, because early detection of anything is key, especially that.
Hello, I'm
okay.
back. Hey, Steve. Okay, I'm going to change gears real quick, and I want to talk about something that's hitting home for a lot of us, especially if you are collecting Social Security. And I know some of us may have heard, I don't know whether you heard, Shakira, about this garnishment that's taking place. And they're going to be Excuse me?
Not just seeing some articles, that's all.
Yes,
Mhm.
there is a garnishment that is taking place whereby starting on June 1st, they would be garnishing Social Security. And I thought I made a link for it. I thought I did, and it seemed like it didn't disappear on me. But anyway, Social Security is going to be garnished if you owe student loans. If you owe student loans, you should be receiving some sort of a letter, and that letter will be allowing you to know that your Social Security income may be garnished. May be
Wow.
garnished. Okay. They will not be able to take you lower than 750, which still, for some people, if your Social Security is your only income,
Yeah.
right? If Social Security is your only income, this could be devastating.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely could.
You know, if this is the only thing. And a lot of people, millions of people only get Social Security. Millions of people don't get nothing else but that.
Yeah.
So if you have student loans, I want to tell you what you can do to kind of get ahead of this letter. Okay, because the letter is coming, and it's coming to over I believe it's over 3 million people that this
Wow.
is going to hit. So, which is a lot of people.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? One of the things I definitely want to tell you, you can apply for what's called a loan rehabilitation program. This would allow you to make 9 affordable monthly payments or remove the loan from default, or you can ask for a request an income driven repayment plan. It's called the IDR.
Okay.
So that way you can make some sort of payment arrangements. Because if you make the payment arrangement, then the payment may be less.
Yeah.
If they make the payment arrangement, meaning the garnishment, it's going to be more. It could be more,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Now, if you do this with the IDR, even if your income is very low, your monthly payment could be as little as 0. So request an income-driven repayment plan.
Okay.
Because one of the things you don't want it to do is cause you a hardship where you become homeless.
Yeah.
Okay? Now you want to respond to the notice that you get. You want to respond to the notice that you get. Shakir, put this in the chat. This is the Treasury Offset Program number. The Treasury Offset Program number. It is 1-800.
Hold on. I'm getting to the chat. Hold on.
The Treasury Offset Program number.
Okay.
The number is 800 304 3107.
3107.
Again, it's 1-800 304 3107. Now, with the request an income driven repayment, which is the IDR, that is very important to try to remember. Now, you want to respond to the notice with the intent to offset. This is a warning that your garnishment is about to start. You can appeal this. Now, don't think you don't have any options. You can appeal this and negotiate the stage of where it's at. You can request a hardship waiver if your Social Security is your only income and garnish what is causing the hardship. Now, say for example, if they bring it down to 750 and your rent is 750, that means you ain't gonna be left with anything.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you respond to the letter that you're getting from Social Security. Okay. So I wanted to put that out there. Hopefully this information will help someone. There are other things that you can do. I'm going to do a video of the other things that you can do to be able to help you with this garnishment that's happening starting June 1st, where they're going to be garnishing anyone who has student loans who's collecting Social Security. Okay. And you want to be able to discuss your repayment options. All right. Hopefully that's helpful to someone. Anyone have any more comments in the chat?
I see Jasmine said that was a great invention. I hope it's patent. Thank you for joining us, Jasmine. She's talking about
Hey,
the frog from
Jasmine.
earlier.
Oh yes, it is. I thought it was extraordinary. And also, you need to wear just 30 minutes.
30 minutes,
Just
yeah.
30 minutes will make a difference. You don't have to have it on a long period of time. So we're definitely going to follow this young lady and learn more about what she has, and hopefully it'll be something that'll be introduced to America. Hopefully.
Yes. And Pam said yes if you are in default with your student loans. She also said also if your college or school is closed, or if you feel that you were being taken advantage of, you can apply for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Some of the, if the colleges are closed, I think that would be a hard thing. If because these are normally federal. Normally with the federal, from what I'm understanding and what I'm reading. Okay, so make sure you call the number. And now this Treasury also offset number is also the number that you use if you want to find out if IRS is going to keep your money. If you owe child support, anything to do with offsetting any refunds, this is also the same number that you will use. All right. That's it. That's our show.
That's our show. Yes, it is.
Yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in for another episode of Mama Said It. We really appreciate each and every one of you for taking out of your busy schedule to see about me and my daughter and come and visit us and join us for another episode of Mama Said It. We'll be here with you next week at the same time.
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Next week is the last Sunday of the month. The last Sunday of the month. The following Sunday will be June's. Wow. Starting in June. Already June. Can you believe it?
I know. It's going by fast.
This is crazy. Thank you all so much for your feedback, your comments. I learned something from each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing your remarks. Y'all make sure you have a great, great weekend, and may something extraordinary happen that's positive in your life this week.
Yes.
Any last remarks, Shakira?
No, just everybody be blessed and be kind to people. You don't know what people are going through.
That's so true.
That is true. Yes.
Kindness is free.
It is free. It is.
Kindness is free. Yes. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good week. God bless. See you next time.
All right.
Mama said it. Woo. There'll be days like this. Mama said it. Wee. There'll be days like this. Mama said it. Woo. Shout out to Michael McNeil. We thinking about you, bro. And Dominique. Damika, thank you. I love you, my niece. Thinking about y'all. Just want to make sure you know you're in our thoughts.